Capricorn, this is going to be your October 2018 general reading. I hope you guys are enjoying autumn. And so, this is for Capricorn rising, sun and moon sign for the month of October 2018 in Capricorn's best, highest good, along with whatever they most need to hear about. Okay, let's see what's in store for Capricorn people. And for clarifiers this month, I'm going to be using Marlena Rudzinski's deck, The Flower Speaks, which is an extremely rare deck as far as I know. I've never seen it in stores or seen anyone else use it. It was actually given to me by the woman who created the deck and wrote the book to go with it about 14 or 15 years ago when I was working at a psychic fair. I forget what state it was in, but it was a tiny little psychic fair, and she was there selling flower essences and had her deck for sale on the side, and I did a reading for her with this same deck that I've had for a long time, and as payment for her reading, she actually gave me this deck, and then I ended up buying the book to go with it. And so, let's see, I'm going to do an 11-card Celtic cross spread for you. After I pick the 11 cards, I'll show them all to you, and then I'll pick clarifiers, and then I'll get going with your reading. This is always the most boring part, so feel free to skip ahead if you're still watching right now, if you would like. Okay, what's going on with you? Okay, I'm going to pick your cards. Ooh. You have an amazing reading. I just have one more card to pick. Of course, he has to come out, doesn't he? Okay. I'm going to show you your 11 cards now. Let me move this up just a little bit. Okay. Your central experience for the month of October is the Six of Pentacles. Your challenge to that, or countering experience, is the King of Pentacles. What is helping you is the King of Cups. At the root or core of your being, you have the Hermit. In your recent past, you have Strength. Your best possible outcome is the Ace of Cups. Coming up for you in the near future is the High Priestess. You right now are the the Empress. Very different from one another. Okay. In your surroundings, you have the Magician. Your hopes are for the Four of Wands. And your general outcome is the King of Swords. This has been coming up for practically everybody. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick some clarifiers now, and then I'll get started. Okay. You going through relationship stuff right now? Or a new love? Or okay. By the way, if you would like to watch a reading for yourself on love and money, you may want to go to my channel and check out your bonus reading for October. This is a general reading, so there's going to be a whole bunch of different things in here, whatever the universe wants you to know about. But the specific readings are a little bit easier to follow if you just have a particular question. Okay. Most of this is really straightforward. You have 5 major arcanas out of 11. So you must be going through a very big cycle right now, or a big deal right now. Lots of big things happening. Okay. So your central experience for the month of October is about equal exchange, especially of energy, time, and money. You want to make sure that you're getting enough back for what you put in, as far as jobs, work, things you're trying to manifest, things you're trying to keep growing. You may need some kind of funding for something or backup with something that you're trying to do. Or it's just a general feeling of you are tired of putting too much in for what you're getting back. So you want to make sure that things are reciprocal in all different ways, with relationships, with jobs, with work, with money, with just everything going on in your life right now for October. You're focusing in a lot on making sure that things are equal or balanced or reciprocal, and that there's an equal exchange going on where it feeds the entire thing much better than if one person or something is taking too much out of the situation without giving enough in return. I'm getting something specific in here, which is that this is your challenge for the month, which is the King of Pentacles, which is stability, like stability with work, stability with what you're trying to build or create in your life that's stable, or something to do with money for sure. Something you're thinking of investing in. So I'm going to show you what I mean. If you look at the picture for the 6 of Pentacles, there's a king who looks suspiciously a lot like the King of Pentacles here. This could be the same king. And so if you look at the picture, it's in this deck. It's a nun and a priest that need funding or need a certain amount of money to get started with building a new church, which is their dream or their passion that they want to create, where it can be a place of charity, where they can give food, shelter, clothing to people who need it, where they can give spiritual advice to people if they need it, It's just their dream that they want to get started with. And the King of Pentacles is more than happy to give them the funding or the money that they need in order to get started with this dream. And that is your central experience. Perhaps you are the nun or the priest, or you are the person with a dream that you would like to see manifested, and you need to make sure that you're getting enough that you need in order to get fully started with this thing. But it may be that your challenge is getting the funding together, or getting the backup, or getting the loan, or getting the grant, or whatever it is that you need in order to make sure that things are flowing and growing to create something long-lasting and fruitful. And I'm getting this is definitely a dream that you have, or something that you have wanted to do for a while now. And so it may just be, I'm getting something in here about you maybe putting too much into what you need initially. You could potentially start small and work your way up. I almost get a feeling as though some of you are asking a little bit too much for this right off the bat in the very beginning. You may not want to get carried away with details or embellishments on this thing, whatever it is that you want to do. Instead of thinking on a greater scale with money that you need, you may want to start small and work your way up. If it proves prosperous and it's doing something good for people, then it will grow more money for you to be able to invest even more money into this business or this thing that you're trying to do, or project, or it can be so many different things. You know more than me. But your challenge in any case is potentially something to do with organizing the funding for this thing, or getting this thing started. You may be thinking too big at first. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you have the King of Cups as what is helping you, which is the King of Pentacles opposite. The King of Pentacles is ruled by Taurus, and the King of Cups is ruled by Scorpio, its opposite sign. I'm kind of getting here that you can have what you are wanting, which is this, if you combine the forces of the King of Pentacles with the King of Cups. It may be that you need a little advice, or a co-partner, or somebody to knock heads with on how to get up the funding for this thing. The King of Pentacles is generally the king of money, where he is very wealthy and he has plenty of money to spare in order to put into new things. But since this is your challenge, I'm guessing that you maybe don't have enough, or you have a certain amount of it, but not all of it. And for some reason, it's a challenge to get that together at this time, which makes perfect sense to me on why you have the King of Cups as what's helping you, because the King of Cups, which is ruled by Scorpio, rules combined money or other people's money. He rules things like taxes, the lottery, inheritances, as in when you receive someone else's money when they pass away. And the lottery is similar. It's a pooling together of lots of people's money in order to come up with a lump sum that you could possibly win. And with shared money, it's when you take other people's money and you create more money with it so that you can pay them back and have extra and get started. So I'm kind of getting the feeling here that you're feeling as though you need to come up with this all on your own, or your thinking patterns have become too rigid or rule-oriented with how you go about getting this funding. It could be you have a friend who's more savvy with working with other people's money or pulling together resources. You may want to combine your energies with this person, or with this idea or concept of taking lots of other different kinds of people's money to pool in small amounts from each person to come up with enough that you need to get started. A cooperative, in other words, where lots of hands are put into it to create something very large. That aside, that's one way of looking at this. Another way of looking at this is you want things to be reciprocal, or you want things to be equal with exchanges, whether it's emotional exchange, physical exchange, mental exchange, all different kinds of combining energies with other people to create more prosperity. Something about your mindset may have become too rigid, or you're not seeing certain things that are available to you, or you're thinking more of this on a material sense. But what is helping you is to delve into the emotional waters. So something about delving deep into your own emotions and where they come from, or your own instincts and where they come from, and possibly transmuting, transforming, or letting go of some old patterns or structures or ways of looking at things that have become limiting, and really getting a close look, close eye at these things emotionally will help you with knowing what to do or knowing how to go about this. This can also be a person, like I said before. They don't necessarily have to be a Scorpio person. It's just somebody who is excellent with delving deep, as in research, investigation, looking at where things come from, the root of things. He dives deep. And this can deal with diving deep to face your own emotions in order to work your way through them to possibly see things in a different way, or even just simply examining what your emotions are. This can be a deep connection with someone as well, or a need to protect. It may be that you're feeling protective of this new thing that you want to get started with, or this continuing growth of this thing you have already started. So let's move on. At your core, you are the hermit, so you're doing some deep inner searching. And that's kind of why I got that feeling of delving deep to look at your emotions or feel your emotions. There may be some emotions trapped up in this that make you feel held back, or like you don't have enough when actually you do. If you just combined your energies with other people, you may be trying to do this all on your own, when that isn't necessary. It would broaden your mind and your emotional intelligence to allow other people to help you, or to pool in their resources with you, or their energies in with you, possibly to even take other people's ideas, opinions, or considerations into account, or to bring them more into your consciousness concerning this, whatever it is. This may be some kind of investment too. But this is just saying you're getting clear. It's important for you to spend a certain amount of time alone or in a peaceful setting so that you can really dive deep, go deep within yourself, and possibly find some clarity or answers to any confusions or blockages you may have. Just simply to see things more clearly, to trust your own perceptions and look at your own perceptions as well as other people's. It's like first you take in everybody else's ideas and opinions and perceptions first. You combine it, think about it, dive deep, and then you go within yourself to get your own clarity concerning this. Any confusion you may have, you will definitely receive answers or clarity on that confusion if you spend a certain amount of time going within, meditating, spending time alone, pondering, sifting through things. Okay, you're feeling a need for a big break. You may even want to go away for a little bit, possibly, or take a vacation, or just look at things differently. Get away from the noise. So in your recent past, you have strength. And your two clarifiers that go with this are abundance and protection. This specifically is the Moon card in the tarot deck. And so this speaks of sensitivities, insecurities, or just feeling easily affected by other people's energy at this time. This card is very akin to what it's like to be a severe empath or be someone who soaks up other people's feelings, thoughts, opinions, projections. Someone who doesn't have very built up boundaries or walls that filter other people's energy from their own energy. And so it's about, again, taking some time out, having some alone time in order to build up your shields. I feel as though you're in a vulnerable state right now, or you're just feeling delicate with certain changes that are going on in your life. Good changes, very good changes, but it's still something about other people's opinions or thoughts of you, or what they say has been getting to you too much, or you just need some more alone time in order to strengthen your shields so that you know what you want, so that you become clear on what you are capable of what you want, to be strong in what your needs are. And something about this has to do with abundance. You want to grow something. You want something to grow where you have more than enough to be able to recirculate into other projects or other good things. And so something about either how other people are perceiving this, or how it affects other people, or just simple insecurities about whether or not you can actually grow this, or believe in your own powers of abundance, or believe in your ability to manifest. Maybe you're wanting to manifest something new, and you're having possible insecurities about whether or not you'll have enough money, or whether or not you'll be able to grow this in the best possible way where you receive fruits from it. I'm getting that it can't really be the type of thing where you put a lot of energy into it initially and then it slowly grows until you have a harvest. I'm feeling that if you are going to do this, it's a good risk for you to take, but it's still some kind of a major change from what you've been doing. And so you need to see results right away. It can't take too long. It's almost like you're putting everything you've got into it, and so you need to have results back. Otherwise, you will not have what you need right off the bat. Hopefully this is making sense, you guys. But in any case, this is where you're coming from. So your best possible outcome is the Ace of Cups. So whatever this new beginning is, whether it has to do with love, whether it has to do with a business, whether it has to do with an adventure or a venture that you're trying to go into, it is a risk, but I see good things happening if you just follow your own heart or follow your own bliss. I feel as though you know very, very well that this is important to you and this is something you've been wanting to do. And you feel almost a sense of urgency of you have to do this now. You can't wait any longer. I feel as though you've been waiting on this, or you've been waiting to do this for too long. And so you must do something now. If you do this now, you'll feel a huge weight being lifted off of your shoulders. It's almost as if it's been taxing for you to hold this back. This may have to do with love, you guys. It could be a number of different things. You know more than me. But this is definitely new love or new magic pouring into your life. But it's almost like I'm getting this feeling that's almost like a delayed birth, where you hold it in and you hold it in. You think maybe you can just ignore the fact that you need to do this thing, but you have to do it, and you have to do it now. And your clarifier that goes with this is reserve, which is, this card has to do with a particular kind of soul, a particular kind of person that is very brilliant, empathic, sensitive, psychic, intelligent. The kind of intelligence that this violet woman has is extremely valuable and is in tune with the color ray of wisdom. But she has learned to keep this wisdom or this intelligence or this way of understanding things that she has to herself. The myth, the Greek myth that has to do with violets. Let me see if I can remember it properly. There were some beautiful earth maidens dancing, and Eros and his mother, Venus, happened to be going by at that moment. And Venus, who's very well known in Greek myths as being kind of jealous and very territorial over her matriarchy of being the most beautiful goddess, of being the ruler of beauty. And so she becomes very jealous of earth women, that perhaps their beauty rivals hers, or even, I'm not even going to say it out loud, I don't want to make Venus mad at me to even bring it up. But if she hears that people are worshiping earth maidens as being more beautiful than even Venus herself, she gets extremely vengeful and jealous and angry, and she curses the women involved oftentimes. So it's a similar story. There's a bunch of beautiful maidens dancing on earth. Venus happens to walk by and turns to her son and says, "Do you think that those maidens are more beautiful than me?" And he's honest with his mother, and he says, "Actually, yes, I do." And she becomes so enraged that she beats them until they're black and blue. And then afterwards, when she stomps off, Eros takes pity on them and ends up turning them into violets, as in the flower. And violet, the flower, is a very tiny flower. It's very close to the earth. It's very modest. It's a beautiful flower. But unless you bend down very close to the earth to really see them, you're not going to really notice them. And so that is why this card is called reserve. It's about not throwing pearls before swine. Obviously, this person is not going to show their true beauty and everything that they carry to just any old person that may stomp on them or beat them till they're black and blue, so to speak. And so she tends to keep her inner beauty to herself and only shares it to those who actually approach her or try to get to know her. And so this violet person could be you. It could be that you have fallen in love with someone and you've been reluctant to say anything or initiate anything out of pure and simple shyness. Or you're not certain that this person is really going to understand you for all of your innate wisdom and beauty that you carry. You want to make sure that if you are going to jump into a love, it has to be with someone who can see your beauty, who can appreciate what you carry within yourself, that you are very modest about. This can also be someone else that you are in love with that shows these qualities. This could be someone who is extremely shy or modest or keeps things to themselves out of fear that they will not be appreciated for the wisdom that they truly carry. And so your best possible outcome is either to overcome your own shyness and just initiate something with this love. This can also be something that you love, as in a venture that you want to begin or something that you want to get started with. But it definitely takes bravery and overcoming any insecurities you may have about how you will be received if you do begin this. But this is your best possible outcome, is to do this. Hang on, I hear knocking. I'll be right back. Okay, here I am. Hopefully my puppy will be on good behavior for the rest of your reading. Where was I? I think I just got finished with that. You know what I just realized? Is that if by any chance this does have to do with love or relationships. This seems like a new love to me, if as one option in here. And this reminds me of the King of Cups as what's helping you. It could be that you have fallen in love with someone who is like this. And obviously it doesn't have to be a man. But this is someone with X-ray vision that normally can look right through someone to their very core or their very soul. He or she detects the hidden things in people, hidden buried treasures in people, hidden secrets in people. He sees right through to other people's intentions, emotions, and basically gets down to the very core of who the other person is. This is normally someone who has a great deal of integrity with how they use this power, X-ray vision power of theirs. And this is reminding me of the Reserve card as your best possible outcome is to unlock the magic into your life and take initiative in what you truly care about. Just in general in your life, doesn't have to be about love, but it can be about love. So if this is about love for some of you, it can be that if you look at these two together, the way that the king, it's hard for you to see it, but you see his penetrating gaze where he looks right straight through you, which can be quite unnerving for a lot of people. Trust me, I know about this. I have a Scorpio moon. My chart actually has a heavy influence of Scorpio in it, and I have encountered this over and over with people. If they're not used to encountering people that see right into them, it can be very unnerving to be exposed like that, to have all of your inner workings exposed to another human being. And so some people can handle it. Some people can accept that and handle it, especially if they're very secure in who they are and know themselves well. But if there are any hidden insecurities, fears, hidden emotions that they don't want this person to see, they can sometimes act like this, which is, oh my gosh. You know, you can almost imagine this young lady in the Violet card saying, oh my gosh, this person can see right into me. Do I really want to be exposed like this? Normally, this is someone who doesn't like to be exposed unless they invited you in or said it was okay for you to expose them. And so it may be that you've been intensely shy or been holding back because you don't want this person to see everything that you feel or everything that's going on with you. And so you've been maybe even avoiding this person, even though you have feelings for them. But it's okay to trust this person. Sometimes it can be a little invasive at first. But if you express to this person that you need them to tone it down a little bit, then they would respect that and they would give you space or privacy to be who you are without being completely exposed. If they're in their integrity with their abilities. This is a very psychic person, by the way. And so it could be that it's throwing you for a loop. Normally, you Capricorn people are extremely tough and brave and mature and able to handle things very well in an adult way. But something about this person is making you maybe in the past a little bit insecure. But also just you don't know how to handle this kind of exposure. But keep in mind that your best possible outcome is to finally act on how you feel or show how you feel. It may be that you haven't been showing how you feel about this person. And you're feeling almost an urgency at this time where you can't continue to do this anymore. You have to come clean on what your feelings are and allow this new beginning to happen. I almost feel like the King of Cups already knows all of these things and what's going on with you, but it feels very respectful, like they're respecting your space and respecting your process in this. That's one thing I'm getting in here. Obviously, this doesn't have to be this specific story for you. So in the future, trust your intuition and let your intuition be your guide. Your intuition is giving you correct information, and your gut feelings or intuitions should be the main base for all actions you take in the near future, because it is dead on. And your intuition is possibly telling you in the near future to take action. This is the Magician card in this deck. To take action and concentrate on, okay, what needs to be done in order to initiate this new thing in your life, and to actually just do it. And also to allow things to unfold in their best timing. This is considered the Wheel of Fortune in this deck. So if you take action, expect a fortunate outcome. Expect good luck, more good luck to come your way. You'll see immediate good results from your actions. There's another message with this card, which is when things are changing, which is the daisy here. You can imagine that the daisy flower here is a wheel. When you're on the outside of the wheel, it can be extremely discombobulating and confusing when the wheel starts turning. But if you can stay centered and focused and concentrated on what you're trying to do, or what you're trying to allow to unfold, you will stay centered and you will not quite get so dizzy or confused. If you can imagine this lady dancing in the middle of that daisy, it doesn't matter how much the daisy turns because she's centered. But if she was on the edge of the daisy and he was turning, she might fly off and lose balance. The way you keep balance is to stay centered. So this is saying in the near future, you will be reining in your powers of concentration to stay centered, where no matter what happens or how quickly things are happening, you will be able to find that nice balance and be able to retain a positive outlook and your composure in accepting these changes. And ultimately, the message is trust your intuition and act on your intuition. And after you've acted, or while you are acting, stay centered and believe that good things are happening, because they are. Things are changing for the better. Things are about to get very fortunate for you, as long as you take risks. Okay, I have to go get my puppy. I'll be right back again. I don't know what it is about you guys, but your readings always get interrupted. Okay. So, you right now, in October, you are extremely fortunate, abundant, creative. You have the possibility to manifest a great deal at this time in the month of October. And I'm also getting you are really enjoying autumn. Something about this season right now and this Empress card, because she has that golden fall leaf colored hair, and she has the golden plants in front of her. It reminds me of fall when I look at this. It just feels really abundant and beautiful and comforting, and you're feeling really blessed at this time. If this reading for some of you does have to do with love, you are completely in love with this person's beauty, and I'm not getting external beauty necessarily, or if that is the case, it's also internal beauty. This is reminding me of the Violet card, of true beauty, external and internal beauty. And something about this love makes you feel full of life and full of energy and full of creativity. If this doesn't have to do with love, you're just feeling really fortunate. You're starting to see that things are showing progress, or showing that they're growing in a good way. And so this makes you very happy and relaxed. You may be taking some time out to spend time with nature, or spend some time outdoors more than usual, or just to simply enjoy your blessings and feel fortunate. Sometimes we forget how blessed we really are. And sometimes it has to take someone having something taken away in order to realize what they had. But I'm not getting that here. I'm getting that you are in a cycle right now where you feel very blessed and you acknowledge all of the good things that you do have in your life instead of focusing on what you lack. Which, yes, I mean, when I compare the Empress with the Six of Pentacles, this just reminds me of harvest time, of people sharing their harvest with one another, of all of the fruits of your hard labor in the past have now fully ripened and are ready to pick and enjoy and share with other people. And for other people to also do this with yourself as well. Just feels really social too. This is enjoying festivities or enjoying a harvest season, enjoying the fall with other people, just creating good manifestation that can be shared and enjoyed by many. Equal reciprocity, equal love. Okay, so in your surroundings, you have the Magician. Here he goes. Ozzy. Ozzy. Sorry, you guys. You are able to manifest what you want concerning your surroundings. If you need a new shift in your surroundings, you are more than capable to make this happen in a good way and manifest what you wish in your surroundings. You do have a certain amount of power, and as long as you, this is the second Magician you've gotten in this reading. You have two Magicians here. One in your near future that had to do with acting on your intuition, and you have the Magician in your surroundings. So if you want to change your surroundings or better your surroundings or create something new in your surroundings, you are more than capable of doing this. But it does take a certain amount of focus and concentration to make it happen, which means you kind of have to make up your mind if you haven't been able to make up your mind. And so your hopes are for a solid relationship or a solid business or a solid new beginning on something that means a great deal to you, something you've been wanting to do. This is something you have possibly dreamed of. Your hopes are that not only will it get off to a good start, but it will show signs of being stable and long-lasting, where you can continue to add to this over time and grow this even more beautifully than what it started off being in the beginning. I'm also getting something in here about patience, about realizing that good things take time, which normally you guys don't ever have a problem knowing that. You guys know that to the deepest of your core, but something about this feels very urgent. So your hopes are also to allow it to grow and unfold in its best own timing, to get off to the best possible start. And the card that was the clarifier that went with that is fertility, which this has to do with choices. What do you pick? Pomegranates, which this card is the pomegranate, is about fertility, because think about how many seeds are in a pomegranate apple. There's 1 million seeds in there. Who knows how many seeds? It would take a really long time to count them all. But all of those seeds are possibilities. All of those seeds involve choosing which seeds to go with. But they most definitely assure success in growing, because when there's many seeds, it's guaranteed that some of those seeds are going to grow. So you do have a lot of choices. You may be you're hoping that you will be able to make the best possible choice and that the choice will grow well and become fruitful. That they're not seeds that will die immediately. You're hoping that they will grow well, but it does involve choice. Come here, buddy. I just wanted you to meet the little guy that is always interrupting your readings. This is who that is crying in the background, is my little boy. So I wish I could be more professional about this channel, but being a mom and having a puppy and 3 different jobs, it's almost impossible to make things perfect or peaceful in the background. So I am going to deal with him, and I will be right back for your outcome, and then we'll be done. Okay, let's see if we can get through this with no more interruptions. I apologize. There isn't really much I can do about it, though. Okay, so your general outcome is the King of Swords, which I'm getting loud and clear here that this means you need to make a decision, especially since you have choices or fertility involving possibilities or seeds you would like to plant. You need to pick which seed you want, or you need to pick finally one way or the other whether you're going to do this or not, and just make up your mind. And the clarifier that came out with this, I'm guessing this has to do with a relationship, because the Union Conjunct card has to do with the balance of masculine and feminine, and has to do with relationships and deep love between 2 people. This does not have to be a heterosexual thing, you guys. And this can be any kind of love or relationship. It just means that there's a really good balance here. You guys balance each other out. You complement each other. This is almost like a 2 of Cups in the regular tarot, where this is about a union of hearts, or people who complement each other well and understand each other well, and deep love involved. So what I'm getting specifically from this as your outcome is that you need to make up your mind about a new relationship, or if you've been in a long-standing relationship and you are still very much in love, and this isn't, I'm not getting death in here, I'm not getting anything in here that has to do with endings. This seems like either a new beginning in an existing relationship that you would like to implement, or I'm getting loud and clear, this is a new love or somebody that you have fallen in love with, and you need to make up your mind about this love. Or could be making up your mind about a number of different things. It could be making up your mind to initiate. It could be making up your mind to initiate. Here we go. Okay. It could be making up your mind to initiate a relationship and get this started. It could be to make up your mind to overcome your reserve or shyness in showing all of yourself to this person. It could be making up your mind to bring your hopes into being, which is for something that is fruitful and stable. This doesn't necessarily have to be love. It can be many different things. You know more than me, but I am getting a very clear message in here that a lot of this has to do with love, or making a choice, or even simply just getting clarity on what the heck is actually really going on. Maybe the other person is shy or reserved, or maybe both of you are. And you're trying to figure out if this person feels the same about you. You may not know if they're shy or reserved. Or if you both have been that way, you both may feel this way, that you don't know how the other person feels exactly, in which case you may need to actually say something, or bring this up, or ask. Or simply just make up your mind that come hell or high water, you're still going for this anyway, and you'll see what happens. This can also be deciding to go into a business partnership, or deciding to do something that has meant a great deal to you for a long time that would make you extremely happy to do, even though it brings up insecurities for you or you're not sure. But you'll know by going within and by listening to your intuition. You will know what to do, and you'll know what to choose. There's not anything in here that says that you have major blockages or challenges at this point. There may be something in here where you feel as though you need to be established before you can get into something, into a relationship, or you want to provide some kind of security to the relationship and you're reluctant to make up your mind just yet because you're afraid you're not good enough or you're not stable enough or you don't have enough to offer. If that's the case, don't let that stop you, because I'm getting this is more insecurities than anything else on your own behalf, and it has nothing to do with the other person. If this is a person, this person is so wise and beautiful on the inside, they would never even think that way. They would never even consider something like that. This person, if it is a person, is extremely spiritual and isn't necessarily caught up in the material plane. Not to say that they're not grounded or don't know how to provide for themselves, but that isn't their focus. Their focus is on the wellspring of wisdom found only within, rather than the external world. So that shouldn't stop you if that is something going on for somebody. And keep in mind, if this doesn't have to do with a relationship, that this has to do with a dream that you have and you want to see it happen. So you have to overcome any shyness or hesitancy or insecurities involving this and just stay strong and listen to yourself. You'll know what to do. Okay. Sorry about all the interruptions as usual. I love you guys very much. Much luck to you. Many blessings to you. And I shall see you soon. If you haven't checked out your bonus reading about your career and love situation, you may want to watch that if you haven't already. Okay. Bye.